Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome here at Crypto Hash Review, where we educate and disseminate information about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies from a Muslim perspective. Now, there is something which has been going around a lot, spoken by various ulama and individuals. I don't say it's a direct praise of the current system we have, but it does give a false impression of how things actually work. So, for example, one thing has been said is that the government, when it comes to fiat money or government money, the government backs your currency. And we've done videos on this before, and we addressed this doubt as relates to Bitcoin already. But I wanted to also just briefly, very briefly, not a long video, very briefly expand upon exactly how your money isn't backed. Okay. Already, we are aware that the banking system is fractionally reserved. So basically means that of all the money that is in the bank that they actually have more liabilities than there are money in that bank. So that means that if every single person in whatever country in was to go to the bank and withdraw their cash, there will not be enough cash to support what they try to withdraw. So it's actually just debts, most of it. 90+% of all the money that is in circulation is actually just a debt that is owed, and it's not actually real cash in the bank. So it's not a one-to-one backing whereby the banks have exactly what they say they owe you and it's one-to-one backed. No, it's actually not the case. But it gets more deeper than that. So what happens, as we've mentioned in previous videos, that when you put money into the bank account, what you're really doing is giving them a loan. And I've suggested what we should do is reword and restructure how we think about things. When you say deposit money in the bank account, we should really say, I'm lending the bank money. But the issue is, now that you've lent someone money, what happens when the individual or institution can no longer pay you back? Now, even in Islam, we said, as Allah mentioned in the Quran, فَمَنْ كَانَ ذُو عُسْرَةٍ فَنَذَرَةٌ إِلَى مَيْسَرَةٍ. Whoever is in difficulty, then let them wait until they can pay back later on. But in this society, I won't say but in this society, if someone owes you money, they can declare bankruptcy and then that debt is written off, meaning there's no claiming it back, because it's, ma'alesh, it's gone. That actually happened in our center. Actually, we paid someone to install some movable walls in our Islamic center, and they did half the job, and the remaining, they didn't do the job at all. And I said, why not? So, we've gone bankrupt. I said, okay, but where's the money? Can I get my money back? I said, sorry, no. I said, what do you mean, sorry, no? So that's just it, we're insolvent. So when companies go into insolvency, certain people they sell all the assets, it goes to certain shareholders and whatnot, and then maybe customers and whatever's left, and if there's nothing left, then you get nothing. It's institutionalized it's built within the institution of this government we live in, that if someone has gone bankrupt, that's it. Finish. That's how you wipe away your debts. Wipe it away. Whereas in Islam, it will be until the person can pay back. But in this case here, no, it's wiped off. So what happens when the bank goes bankrupt? Then what happens to your money there? Well, in the past, when major banks have, not all the time, but there's definitely more than one occasion, governments have had to step in and use government funds to help bail out the banks. Basically what they do is that they give them the money to help keep them afloat so they can keep on functioning, so that the people who deposited the money into the bank don't lose their money. I.e., think of the scenario like this. I've lent you £100. You can't pay me back the £100. And I'm asking, where's the £100? And he said, I'm sorry, bro, I don't have the money. So I'm saying, look, I need my money. And he said, bro, I don't have the money. So then some next door neighbor hears us discussing and says, you know what, I see you guys having problems. I'll just give you some money so you can help settle your debts. So that guy got bailed out by the local neighbor. That's the example of a bailout. But since 2008, there have been some moves, governmental moves, to change the procedures slightly. And change it how, you might be asking? Basically, what they're saying now is that what they should do now, before governments get involved in bailing out the banks, the depositors need to bail the banks in. Let that sink in for a bit. What that means is, if a bank was to get close to insolvency, whether they become bankrupt, then to prevent the bankruptcy, the deposits that you have put in your bank account that you think is a deposit and not a loan, which you should really think it is just a loan, that loan you give in the bank account now can be converted into assets of the bank account, which basically means you've lost your money. So basically, they use your money to bail themselves out. So you've actually bailed in the bank. You've actually helped the bank stay afloat with your money you put into the bank account. Now that actually happened during the Greece collapse that happened. I think it's 2013 or 14. There was a big, massive problem. Lines of queues of people at the bank trying to draw out the money. They couldn't draw out the money, and the banks put limits how much you can draw out, and it was chaos. So then Germany, the European Central Bank and others, they decided, look, we're not going to bail you out, Greece. So what we want you to do is bail in your citizens. So anyone who had a deposit over 100,000 euros, then some of their money was taken to pay out and pay the banks or bail out the banks. So rather than the central banks printing money and giving it to them, the depositor's money itself was taken and used to keep the bank afloat. Now, some may be saying, oh, but isn't our money insured? There's these different organizations, government or bodies that insure your money. If anything over a certain amount is guaranteed. Interestingly enough, that is only applicable if the bank has gone to insolvency and actually bankrupt. It's gone, finished. A bail-in is before that event. So bail-ins happen in order to keep the bank from going bankrupt. So many of us who think and believe that our money is safe in the banks, safer than being at home anyway, at least, then maybe you need to think about that again. If you really believe the banks are robust and strong and nothing's wrong with them, and any doubts that they may be on the brink of collapse and that everything's going to continue as it is, then so be it. That hopefully it works out for you. But if you like myself recognize that the system can't continue the way it is, at some point something has to break. Either catastrophically, where our banks just like a house of cards collapse, or maybe slowly, where people slowly migrate to a better system. Who knows? Who knows how it will play out? No one knows how it plays out. But fundamentally, from an Islamic perspective, you shouldn't really have your money in that system anyway if you can avoid it. And you should definitely find ways and means to avoid it. But secondly, remove this fallacy that somehow your money is safe in the banks, and that if anything goes wrong, the governments will come in and save the day. That actually is very quickly and swiftly not being the case, as many governments across the world are taking moves to move to a bail-in first before governments even think about bailing out the rest of the system. We hope you find this video beneficial. Please like this video, subscribe, check out our website. We have more information, and consider and learn and educate yourself about Bitcoin, an alternative to storing your wealth than putting it into a bank account. And may Allah give you plenty Bitcoin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.